Emma and her friends chased fame on TikTok, but when the challenge turned deadly, Emma's terror sparked a terrifying question. Did she cry for help, or for the cameras after killing them? Emma was like many teenagers in her town, quiet at school, often lost in her phone, but with big dreams swirling in her mind. From early on, she had been fascinated by the world of social media, especially TikTok. It was a place where anyone could become famous overnight, where short videos could reach millions, and where ordinary people turned into stars. Emma saw it as her escape from the dull routine of small-town life and the pressure to fit in. At first, her videos were simple lip-syncing to popular songs, funny dance clips, and light-hearted challenges. But as her followers grew, so did her need to create more exciting content. Every new post had to outdo the last. Her viewers expected something fresh, something surprising, something that would make them stop scrolling. Emma's phone became her lifeline, and her identity was tied to the number of likes, shares, and comments she received. She lived for the attention and the sense of control it gave her. Her family and friends noticed changes in her behavior. She spent hours filming, editing, and posting videos. She became secretive about what she was doing offline, often sneaking out late at night or ignoring calls. People who once called her "Quiet Emma" whispered about her new boldness, but none guessed the darkness growing underneath her bright smile. The pressure to keep growing her audience was relentless, and Emma struggled to balance reality with the persona she created online. Among her followers, Emma quickly rose to local fame, gaining thousands of fans who watched her every move. She joined online groups, made friends with other influencers, and even started planning bigger stunts that could catapult her to national attention. But the more popular she became, the more risky her ideas got. The thrill of going viral pushed her further, blurring the lines between what was safe and what was dangerous. Emma's obsession wasn't just about being famous, it was about feeling important and seen in a world that often made her feel invisible. Her videos masked her loneliness and insecurities, but the craving for more attention grew like a wildfire inside her. Every notification was a rush, every comment a little piece of validation she desperately needed. She believed that if she could reach the top, nothing would ever hurt her again. Behind the scenes, Emma's personal life was falling apart. Her parents argued about her disappearing acts and poor grades, while her closest friends tried to reach out, only to be pushed away. Emma's growing isolation made her more determined to succeed online at any cost. The pressure twisted her mind, convincing her that the only way to truly shine was to create something shocking, something no one could ignore. As the months passed, Emma's TikTok account transformed from a simple collection of fun clips into a platform filled with bold, sometimes reckless content. She was chasing a dream, but it was turning into an obsession. Unbeknownst to anyone around her, Emma was preparing for a moment that would change everything, a moment that would blur the line between fame and tragedy forever. The night everything changed began like any other for Emma. She had spent hours planning her next big TikTok challenge, one she believed would finally push her into viral stardom. This time, she decided to involve her closest friends, who were eager to join her for the promise of online fame. They gathered at Emma's house late in the evening, the cameras rolling as they laughed, joked, and prepared for what was supposed to be a harmless, thrilling stunt. Emma's plan was simple on the surface, a challenge that combined suspense, fear, and surprise ingredients she knew could captivate viewers. But as the night wore on, the line between fun and danger started to blur. The group began exploring an abandoned house on the edge of town, a place rumored to be haunted. The thrill of the unknown added tension and excitement, perfect for their growing audience. As they ventured deeper inside the decaying building, the atmosphere shifted. The laughter faded, replaced by uneasy silence and whispered fears. Emma's camera captured every step, every glance, and every sudden sound. Her followers were watching live, glued to the unfolding mystery. But behind the scenes, the mood was far from playful. The friends began to realize something wasn't right. Then, the incident happened. Something in the dark, a stumble, a pushed wall, or a sudden fall triggered chaos. One friend screamed. Another tried to run, but in the confusion, Emma lost control. What was meant to be a thrilling adventure turned into a nightmare. The group scattered, panic rising as they struggled to escape the crumbling building. Emma's camera kept rolling, capturing fragments of the terrifying moments. After that night, the missing friends vanished without a trace. The video abruptly ended, leaving millions of viewers shocked and confused. No one knew what had happened inside the walls of the abandoned house, and the silence that followed was deafening. Emma's TikTok feed remained active, but the tone shifted drastically. Instead of daring challenges, she posted tearful videos, crying and begging for help. Her pleas seemed genuine to some, but others sensed something was off. Rumors spread quickly in the town. Was Emma a victim of a tragic accident, or was she involved in something darker? The police launched an investigation, scouring the abandoned house and surrounding areas. Yet, no sign of the missing friends was found. Emma became the center of attention, her every move watched and questioned. Her emotional videos gained millions of views, fueling speculation and fear. Some viewers believed Emma was crying out of guilt, while others thought she was putting on a show to avoid suspicion. The line between reality and performance blurred, leaving everyone uncertain what to believe. The media descended on the town, turning Emma into a controversial figure, a young girl who had it all, only to lose control in a deadly game for fame. As the investigation continued, more strange details emerged. Emma's phone records showed mysterious calls and deleted messages. Neighbors reported seeing her acting strangely before and after the night of the challenge. The case grew more complicated, and the public's trust in Emma's story began to waver. What was the truth behind the viral videos? And what had Emma really done when the cameras stopped rolling? The investigation into the disappearance of Emma's friends quickly became a complex puzzle that no one could easily solve. Detectives pored over Emma's social media, texts, and videos, searching for any clues that might explain what happened that night. They discovered hidden messages and deleted posts that suggested Emma's life was more tangled than anyone had imagined. What seemed like a simple viral challenge was actually just the surface of a darker story. As the detectives dug deeper, they found that Emma had been hiding secrets about her relationships with the missing friends. Some had been distant lately, and tensions within the group had been rising. There were rumors of arguments, jealousy, and betrayal, but no clear motive for violence. The investigators wondered if the disappearance was a result of a tragic accident or something more deliberate. Meanwhile, Emma continued to post videos, some showing her crying, others appearing more rehearsed and controlled. Experts who analyzed her online behavior noticed strange patterns, pauses that looked like she was thinking about what to say, inconsistent emotions, and moments when her eyes seemed to avoid the camera. Fans began to question whether her tears were real or just another performance to keep attention focused on her. Neighbors and classmates offered different stories. Some said Emma seemed fragile and desperate for validation, while others believed she was cold and calculating. One witness mentioned seeing Emma leave the abandoned house alone late at night, but nobody had seen the friends afterward. The more people spoke, the more confusing the picture became. Was Emma a victim caught in a terrible accident, or was she hiding a darker truth? As the days turned into weeks, the detectives faced pressure from the public and media. The missing friends' families demanded answers, and online forums buzzed with theories and accusations. Police searched nearby forests, rivers, and abandoned buildings, but found nothing. The trail went cold, and hope for finding the friends alive began to fade. Then, breakthrough came when a forensic expert discovered subtle edits in Emma's videos. Some clips had been altered to hide moments of violence or distress. This discovery shifted the investigation. It suggested that Emma wasn't just a frightened teenager, but someone trying to control the story she was telling the world. The police questioned her again, but Emma remained calm and refused to explain the edits. The conflicting evidence raised more questions than answers. How much did Emma know? Did she intend to harm her friends, or was she protecting them from something worse? The lines between fact and fiction blurred as Emma's online persona and real life collided. The followers who once admired her now felt betrayed and suspicious. Behind closed doors, Emma's world was unraveling. She was isolated, surrounded by detectives and reporters, but disconnected from the people she once called friends. Her obsession with fame had trapped her in a dangerous web, and the truth was becoming harder to reach. As the investigation moved forward, the community grappled with the chilling realization: sometimes, the search for attention can lead to irreversible tragedy. After months of uncertainty, the case took a shocking turn that stunned the entire town and sent ripples through the online world. Emma's carefully constructed story began to unravel when new evidence surfaced, evidence that forced her to confess to a crime no one had expected. But the truth behind her confession was far from straightforward, revealing motives that were chilling and disturbingly calculated. The confession came after a long and intense interrogation where Emma was faced with the mounting proof against her. She admitted to causing harm to her friends, but her reasons shocked investigators and the public alike. It wasn't a simple act of anger or jealousy. Instead, Emma revealed that she had orchestrated the entire situation to create the ultimate viral sensation, something that would make her unforgettable on social media, no matter the cost. Emma described how she planned the night with precision. She chose the abandoned house because it was eerie and would draw viewers in. The challenge was designed to push her friends to their limits, creating real fear and tension for the camera. But when things escalated unexpectedly, Emma didn't stop. Instead, she took control of the situation, ensuring that her actions would be captured, shared, and talked about by millions. She wanted to turn tragedy into fame, blurring the lines between reality and spectacle. What shocked people most was Emma's cold and detached recounting of the events. She spoke about her actions with a disturbing lack of remorse, as if the pain and fear she caused were just part of the performance. Her tears on camera were revealed to be part of a carefully crafted act to manipulate her audience's emotions, to gain sympathy and deflect suspicion. The confession sent shockwaves through the community. Families of the missing friends were devastated, struggling to understand how someone they trusted could cause such harm. The town that had once been proud of Emma's rising fame now grappled with betrayal and horror. The story no longer seemed like a tragic accident, but a calculated crime driven by a desperate hunger for attention. Legal experts warned that Emma's case would set a precedent for how social media influences behavior and crime. The public debated the dangerous consequences of chasing online fame at any cost. Was Emma a product of her environment, shaped by the pressures of internet culture, or was she simply a cold-hearted manipulator? The answers were not easy to find. Behind the headlines, mental health professionals highlighted the role of isolation, obsession, and the blurred boundaries between real life and online personas. Emma's case became a cautionary tale about the dark side of social media, where the desire for likes and followers can lead people down terrifying paths. As Emma awaited trial, the world watched closely. Her story was no longer just about missing friends or viral videos. It had become a haunting reflection of how far someone could go when fame became more important than humanity. The chilling truth was clear. Sometimes, the search for attention can destroy lives and shatter communities forever. The aftermath of Emma's confession shook the entire community and sparked a nationwide conversation about the power and dangers of social media. The trial became one of the most watched events of the year, and curious viewers tuning in daily. Every detail of Emma's life was examined: her childhood, her rise to online fame, the night of the crime, and the moments after. The court had to decide not just on her guilt, but on what kind of sentence was appropriate for a young woman whose pursuit of fame ended in tragedy. As the trial unfolded, the victims' families struggled to find closure. Their grief was raw and public, made even harder by the way Emma had used the tragedy to fuel her online presence. They spoke out against the culture of viral attention-seeking, warning others about the deadly consequences it could bring. Their pain reminded everyone that behind every shocking headline are real people with shattered lives. Emma's defense tried to argue that her mental health problems had clouded her judgment, pointing to signs of anxiety, depression, and obsessive behavior. Psychologists testified that the pressures of social media could distort reality and impair decision-making, especially in young, vulnerable individuals. However, the prosecution focused on her calculated actions and chilling lack of remorse. painting a picture of a manipulative person who chose fame over friendship and human life. Public opinion was divided. Some saw Emma as a tragic figure overwhelmed by modern pressures, a victim of a world obsessed with online validation. Others viewed her as a dangerous example of how social media can amplify the worst impulses. The case sparked heated debates on news shows, social media platforms, and communities nationwide about the responsibilities of influencers, the role of parents, and the need for better mental health support. In the months following the verdict, many schools and organizations began programs to educate young people about the risks of social media obsession and the importance of seeking help. Emma's story became a cautionary tale shared widely, reminding teenagers and adults alike that behind every viral moment, there can be unseen pain and danger. Meanwhile, the missing friends were never found. The mystery of their fate left an open wound in the community. Some believed they had met a tragic end that would never be uncovered. Others held out hope for answers that might still come. The silence weighed heavily on everyone involved, a haunting reminder of the consequences of Emma's actions. Emma was sentenced to a long prison term, her future forever altered by the deadly choice she made for fame. Her TikTok account was taken down, but the videos and stories lived on, circulating as warnings about the dangers of seeking attention at any cost. The town slowly began to heal, though scars remained. The story of Emma and her friends became part of local history, a dark chapter about the fine line between ambition and obsession, between the search for connection and the cost of losing oneself. In the end, Emma's story was not just about a crime, but about a culture that often values fame over humanity. It left viewers questioning the world they live in and the price people pay when the desire to be seen becomes more important than the truth or life itself.